Hello, everybody. Welcome to Expansion Pass. I'm your host, the Light Excited Eddie. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. I'm here. I'm falling asleep in this chair to the point where I might not even go to bed. I might just sleep at my desk. See what happens.
But Corey, you have a topic for us.
I do?
Yes.
No, I was just messing with you. Yeah, so we've been wanting to do this magazine thing for a while, right? Like talk about old magazines and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're going to. It's just as of this recording, my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and the box I have all my magazines in is buried. But I thought we could do like a conversation on strategy guides and kind of their appeal from the mid 90s all the way up until like maybe 2012, before the internet wikis started taking over. And so dude, every time I bought a game, I would buy the strategy guide. That was like the whole thing, right? Like I would get the game, I would get the strategy guide. And like, if it was a Nintendo game, I would have to get the Nintendo Power strategy guide, right? Like the official one. None of this Prima Games fake guides, I would call them, although they were very well written in their own right.
Shoot, Prima had the Bible gaming guide.
I mean, yeah, Prima had a guide for everything, right? And if it wasn't Prima, it was Brady Games, right?
Yeah.
Because, man, I just remember like all of those, like all the cool hardback Brady Games ones. And then like they did those weird cardboard cover ones for a while, right? Where they had like the art book inside, and then like a variation of the cover inside. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and I got the guide for that. Everybody wanted like the one form of Sora, and I ended up getting it, and it apparently was like really hard to find that version of Sora. So that was cool. And I don't know, I've had a lot of strategy guides over the years. I've gotten rid of some, and I've been looking at them again recently in terms of like, we've talked about my want for retro game collecting again. And so I'm just, part of that is the guides that go with these games. And I'm just wondering what your opinions on strategy guides are, Ed.
So, I'm not a strategy guide person. When I was
shocking, everybody, shocking,
because I experienced the game as it was. So I never tried to look up the codes, the cheats, and everything. Even though my mom was buying me Game Pro and EGM as a kid, I was always for the articles and reviews, and I could see the tricks of the trade and stuff like that. But I just never tried to look up the strategies, buy a strategy guide for a game. I didn't get my first strategy guide until The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Because my friend, he had the strategy guide for Secret of Mana, and then he let me have it. But my first purchase was Ocarina of Time, because I was in the Gerudo Valley and I couldn't get out the jail, and I was wondering what I was doing wrong. So I spent my Christmas money getting this book and everything just to get out that little section, and never looked at it again. But it was a very well executed, had all the secrets and everything, for people who wanted to 100% the game. When I ended up working up at Toys R Us, when they would throw out the strategy guides, they would let us keep some of them, and I would say I snuck some out when they were getting thrown away, because I'm like, well, why throw these away when when they could still be used, and I could keep these great books and stuff. Um, so I got I have a Windworker HD one. I have a Destiny one. I have a Zombie U, and then I have some other ones. I didn't. I like to collect them and stuff, but I never was looking into it just to find stuff. My like I said, I used to just be a person who experienced the game as it is. I did buy Expert Gamer. This was EGM's trick book, so they would have strategy guides in it and stuff. So I would look at sometimes if I had that game, I would look at it for a little bit and then I would put it away. Um, when it got to like when YouTube ended up getting popular and you can find a lot of these strategies and game guides online, I kind of jumped in and used those more to finish some things up. Like if I'm trying to 100% or if I beat the game and I'm trying to get 100% of stuff, I'll look at IGN game guides or game rants, or I check out some video on YouTube. But I always thought that with strategy guides, um, for me, I never felt like they had purpose. But I understand why people did get strategy guides because sometimes there were people who needed help with that game, um, and stuff. To find some of the secrets to learn how to beat a boss. Like in some of the dad parents, I should say, were buying the Lego strategy guides for their kids because they wanted their kids to excel, and they felt like the strategy guides would help them excel at the game.
Yeah, strategy, man. I used to have so many strategy guides, and I wish I got rid of some of them. Well, quite a bit of them. Well, some of them caught on fire, so that was kind of a way to get rid of them, right? But
Mm-hmm.
one of my apartment burned down. But like, I used to have so many strategy guides, and I would always buy the collector's edition ones. And like, I started buying the collector's edition guides instead of the special edition games because like I just thought it was nicer to have on the shelf a hardback book and then like the plastic cases for the games. I thought that was just like a nice way to collect. Um, and so I'm kind of in that vein again, right? Is like I'm buying these some of the obviously not every game is in like has a hardback collector's edition guide, right? Like a lot of the DS stuff or handheld stuff doesn't, or some of the smaller games like not gonna lie to you, the Bouncer never got a collector's edition hardcover guide. Spoilers, everybody, if in
Right.
case you were looking for one. uh but there were a lot of guides that I still have a lot of guides. This whole bottom shelf, like down here in this bookcase down here, is all strategy guides. But I used to probably have like probably 4 or 5 times this many. Um, but they, like I said earlier, some of them burned up in the fire. Some of them I sold to pay rent at one point, and
Mm-hmm.
others I just like, I don't know if I really want to collect strategy guides anymore. And now I kind of regret that I did that. Everybody goes through that. I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of things, and then they go and recollect them right at a higher price. um, but yeah, I love strategy guides. I used to like them just to look at them, really, because a lot of the collector's
Yeah.
edition ones either had a art book section in the back of it, or like it came with
Yeah.
a separate art book, which is what I was really into. Like that was the big thing with the Assassin's Creed 1 strategy guide. Like they build it as like a collector's edition, but like it was the normal Prima Games guide, but it came with a hardback art book, uh, which was really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because there aren't a lot of there's not a lot of games set in that time period, and there's not a lot of art revolving around games in that set in that time period. Like I think the only other one I can think of really like that aesthetic at least is like the Prince of Persia trilogy, right, on the Xbox, GameCube, PS2 era, right? And I'm not even saying that that's like the same era. That's not what I'm saying, but like I hope people know what I'm saying when I say that, right? Like they both kind of take place in this odd Middle Eastern sword fighting kind of strange era that we don't really understand all that much, or at least I
Yeah.
don't, because I don't, not like a history person or like whatever. Anyways, not the point. Um, so that was really cool to see, and then like to see their concepts for things in the modern world versus the the animus kind of attachment was cool. Or like when the Art of the Mass Effect Universe book came out, that was super cool. Even though I have the hard back books for 2 and 3 that have their own kind of art sections in the back. Uh, I really love the era of meaningful strategy guides. Um, I mean, now obviously it's more convenient to look up a wiki on your phone or ask, Chat GPT a question, right? Which is like kind of almost how I started using guides. Like I've been using Chat GPT to ask how to do certain things in Final Fantasy VII, which I know like guide writers are going to be mad at me for doing that, but it's these wiki sites have become incredibly unreadable with all of the ads stapled to them, especially on mobile. And so that's just kind of a way to eliminate the ads, essentially. And does a really nice job for the most part. But man, some of these guides, like I remember when I got the Twilight Princess Special Edition guide.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just like those Zelda guides for a while were like these nice leather bound, kind of had this cool gold design around the edges, right? Like the only one I don't have is the Ocarina of, or it must be the Ocarina of Time 3D one, which is like the rarest one. Uh, Majora's Mask one is really hard to find too, but I have that one. But like you look for the Ocarina of Time 3D collector's edition one on eBay, good luck. There's
Hmm.
usually like only one or two listed at the same time, and they're always $300. Which, sure, fine, fair, but uh, and then the Breath of the Wild ones were really nice, and the Tears of the Kingdom one is really nice.
Yeah.
Which I am kind of, it's weird because like only like the biggest games get really nice strategy guides now. Like I think the last, besides Tears of the Kingdom, I don't even remember the last strategy guide I bought, to be honest with you, because like Prima is like this, like they went bankrupt and then turned into this smaller thing, and Brady Games I think got absorbed into what was that brand that did all the Tomb Raider guides? um Piggyback, right? Piggyback Games, I
Hmm.
think is what they're called, and they only do like bigger guides now, and they do a bunch of other things outside of games now because I mean the guides business just isn't viable anymore. So
And
I
it's
do want
and
to
the time.
go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
and the time that it took for them to write the guides and stuff, like they had about a month to play the game, and then they had
Mm-hmm.
to write everything, and like get screenshots, and they had a lot of work, and they had to have all of this done before the game came out. So when the game released, the guide would release.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my guides to see if there's any recent ones. Um, yeah, I think Zelda might be the newest one. uh, I
I
mean, like
think I
that
have a few.
generation, like the Switch generation, like there's a Mario Odyssey one that came out that's really hard to find now, apparently, or it's like really expensive to buy. It's not hard to find; it's
Mhm.
just expensive. But like other than that, like the Xenoblade games didn't get one. Like I mean, I have the Xenoblade Chronicles X1 for Wii U, but like, that's uh it's just the thing now is like art books and lore books, right? Like,
Yeah.
and like with so many games is like the way games as a service are, and like a lot of the way games update, by the time that guide would even come out, a lot of that stuff has been rebalanced or, even taken out of the game complete. I mean, the Destiny 2 guide, strategy guide,
Hmm.
nothing in this Destiny 2 strategy guide is even in the game anymore. So like it's
Oh
worthless.
wow.
Um, and the way, and even the Destiny 1 strategy guide, like that content is in there, but the way leveling works is so different now that like it doesn't make sense either. Um, but they have 7 really nice lore books, like really nice lore books, hardback lore books, and they have 3 really nice art books that I have. And so like I've kind of transitioned it more into the art book realm of these games. Like I just pre-ordered the Final Fantasy 16 art book. Um,
Nice.
I also pre-ordered the Metroid Prime Trilogy art book, which was supposed to come out now, but it got delayed to like October, I think. Um, so that's kind of where I've transitioned to. But I do want to say there is a really awesome creator. I don't know if you know who they are, Ed, or who this guy is, but hand drawn game guides. I don't know
I
if
think
you've
I
heard.
heard of him.
Yeah, he just Nintendo actually shut down his Metroid, his I don't remember if it was Metroid or Super Metroid, but he used that concept and pitched it to Capcom, and he's doing Mega Man 1 and 2 as hand drawn
Oh, nice.
hardback handbound, like hardback hand drawn game guides. And if they're, moderately successful, he's going to do the rest of the, like I think he said he's going to do the entire like Mega Man 1 through at least 10, maybe 11. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, I think that's really cool, and I hope more. I mean, I don't even know if more people are even trying to do this, but it's something that I've been looking at and like, man, that'd be really cool to do. Like, do something like this for games. Um, but yeah, it's cool. I recommend everybody go look up hand drawn game guides.
Well, the thing is with guys, and not even talking about the business side of them, is that nowadays, because we got Twitch and YouTube and whatever platform you stream on, you got people doing walkthroughs,
Mm-hmm.
or they end up playing the whole game, and you as the viewer get to watch all of this because you feel like that you are playing the game and beating the game along with them, even though you don't got a controller in your hand. You're watching someone else do all the work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and with depending on what that game is, like if you do an Assassin's Creed game now, it's gonna probably take you a long time to even write up because there's so much side quest stuff and trying to figure out where to go and stuff. And with previous game guys or the game guys in the past, you got your missions, and sometimes you'll get your side stuff, so you get like extra health or extra storage, weapons, special weapons. Uh, it will help you be able to beat these games 100%, because it tells you where to go and what to do
Mm-hmm.
with it. Nowadays, if you want to find out where to go and what to do, you do have to watch like a YouTube video because there's the visual medium, is right there, and everything is in movement. You'll actually be able to know if you need to dodge here or what the attack of that enemy is gonna do and stuff. So I think game guides nowadays, It's just like one click away if you know where to go, or if you're watching your streamer or your favorite streamer and stuff. You could watch just the whole game through them, and once they beat it, you could be like, okay, I've seen everything, and then move on.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I think a lot of these creators do a great job with their videos and stuff. I do still really miss just like flipping the pages. I mean, it's the same reason why I think
Mm-hmm.
we all resubscribed to Game Informer once they announced the magazine was coming back, right? It's like, I know it's not the same and we get news almost instantly, but like just flipping through the pages, even if it's just getting it out of the mailbox and flipping through it for a little bit, like it just still feels really nice to have that tangible, you know, book.
As as much as we talk about how we need physical media for video games, we need physical media for news, for coverage, for stories and stuff. Because if they want to wipe everything off these websites, they could do it just like that. Look at Game Informer, good example that you used them. They had everything wiped off. If they didn't say their
Mm-hmm.
stuff, everything was wiped off. I had my blogs and stuff from oneup.com wiped. It's gone because the website is not there no more.
Mm-hmm. And like,
And everything.
and not on that point, not that Boss Rush is going away anytime soon, but just in case it is, like I save a copy on a drive just in case. Like what if we do end Boss Rush someday, and like we're just kind of hanging out doing POW Block for forever now, right? Like
Right.
that's we gotta. I would like to save the stuff I put on there. We put a lot of work into that, and like I still keep my stuff. I don't want to say separate because that's not the right word, but I do keep it. Um, I do keep it in a on a drive in like a Word doc, just in case.
Yeah, a lot
So,
of my stuff, yeah, a lot of my written stuff is on Google Docs,
hmm
uh, and WordPress, and hopefully those don't go down. Like, I have stuff on VentureBeat, and this is just written stuff,
hmm
that I have.
yeah,
But like going back to strategy guides, um, having that tangible physical book for that game and stuff, like that that was big back in the day.
yeah, yeah. I love strategy guides, man. I've been looking at a lot of them lately. Like
Hmm.
even dumb ones like Gears Judgment, right? Like that's the one Gears guide I don't have that's available out there, and so I'm like kind of want that. Or like the Tomb Raider guides are really nice, or like that the new Tomb Raider games, like those guides are so nice. I love those guides. They're
Yes,
so nice. Um and so yeah, I just
that that was the thing about strategy guys, Corey. What's the quality of the paper that was on that the pages were,
mhm,
and and the like the covers and stuff like you were paying $15 or $20 or whatever the price may be because you not only were you getting the breakdowns and locations and move sets and everything from that book, you was paying for that good quality paper that was in
yeah.
that book that was like
Mhm.
2 to 300 pages. like
Mhm.
you like you were getting something out of it. This wasn't a we didn't get like pamphlet guide stuff to almost like the 360 PS3 Wii U. And that's when if you bought a game from some places and they give you that as a free gift.
Mhm.
Because we used to do it a lot at Toys R Us.
Mhm. Yeah, or like when you would resubscribe to Nintendo Power, right? They would like offer you a
Mm-hmm.
free guide or something, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was always cool. Um, so yeah, I love strategy guides. I mean, this would be something I would love to do, but like I don't know where to start or if we even have the resources to do it. But like fund like limited edition strategy guides where we make like where we would print like maybe like 1,000 and each one would have, you know, a number in it for like indie games, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what if we made one for Shovel Knight, or what if we, you know, what if we made one for I don't even know, Death's Door, right? These cool guides that, you know, like that'd be really cool to do, you know, and I don't know, it's something I've been thinking about honestly a lot the last couple months of like I would love to just do that, but where do we start, and how like who do we contact to start that, and how do we, you know, but
Yeah, because I don't anything before you even do a strategy guide, it's the licensing
mhm.
of it, you know,
Yeah, but
and then
I don't think the licensing would be a problem, honestly.
yeah,
Um, you know, because like they, you know, we would whatever buy, you know, buy the license for it or whatever, and then do all the work, and then give them like, you know, 20% of every sale or something, right? That's like free money
yeah,
for them essentially, and they're, you know, a lot of them are small indie studios anyway, right? Like, um, you know, I mean, as big as Yacht Club is, they're still a small studio. They've still only made technically well, one game with 12, like 5, 6 expansions, but uh,
hmm
you know, and then they've published a couple other games, but like, you know, Mina's literally their second game. Like, they're still a small
yeah,
studio. Um, Great studio, just small, and I think it would be really cool to do something like that. Or, um, oh, what are some other games that we could do it with? You know, like that. Those are the things that I think I would love to like do that at some point. Like a really nice. What if we had like this really nice,
well,
like for Shovel Knight, right? Like you think of
mhm,
what, you know, these ancient books looked like, with like the leather bound with like these, you know, papyrus papers with like scroll lettering on them, and like it kind of opens like that, but then like you have like these screenshots inside, and then like once you get into the book, like it starts looking like a strategy guide just in this old publishing form, right? um I don't know, I think that would be really cool. Or like you look at Death's Door and like, man, maybe like the book cover looks like the doors that you walk through, right?
mhm,
um that would be cool, like this black, like this charcoal black color with this white kind of out framing, and I don't know, maybe you have just like the eyes and the beak of the bird on the cover with this red sword,
well,
essentially.
I probably would make it like a cuckoo clock that looks like a um that looks like a casket, and then
Yeah,
when you open it up, you'll see the bird looking at the contents of where you want to go.
yeah. I mean, but that would be more of like that would be more like a collector's edition almost than a
Mm,
guide. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I think that I just think that'd be cool. Or even like
get
retro
Grace,
game guides almost too.
get Grayson Morales. You're
Yeah,
like, Grayson, we need your expertise. Here's $350.
you probably need to pay him more than that. Um,
Oh, of course,
uh,
with $350 for a down payment.
yeah, get started. Chop chop.
Cha-cha. But I think, you know, game guys, and what's really cool about this, Corey, is that if you go to a used bookstore, you will still find some amazing game guides for video games for cheap.
Hmm.
You know, you could get some for $5 or six. You may even get one for $3.
I mean, remember
Um,
when, I don't know if you remember this, but when Best Buy was clearancing them out for a penny, remember that? Like
yeah,
old
we
ones,
did.
like
Toys
Yeah,
R Us did the same thing.
that was awesome. I remember buying like 15 guides, and the lady like was so confused at why they were why it was 15, or like it was like 20 cents with tax. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
well,
they can't make them zero. They can't give them away for free,
mhm,
so they have to drop it down to 1 penny,
mhm.
like to clearance it out.
Or like when my cousin and I went dumpster diving at a GameStop one time, or like maybe it was a Hollywood Video or something, right? But it was like they threw them all away, and we got like 60 strategy guides for free because we went in their dumpster and took them out. It's awesome. It's so cool. Um, so yeah, it was what a time.
Yeah, and
I
so
miss guides.
uh,
I miss guides so much.
yeah, and that's why I say like with YouTube and with streamers and stuff, they are now like the go-to for game guys, which is funny because Corey, we have our Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past and our Wind Waker playthrough. So I'm not Wind Waker playthrough. Our Super Metroid playthrough. So if people want to like go through that game and see where how to get through some dungeons, where to find certain items at and stuff, they could even watch those videos and get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, or and it doesn't have to it, and it's not going to mean that everything is perfect, but at least that if you watch those videos, you get an idea on where to go next and what to do if you ever get lost. So
Mm-hmm.
in a certain way, we kind of made some guys, but they're playthroughs,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And, and
A lot of.
I'm sorry. One last thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt. One last thing. A lot of people who do use game guides nowadays, um, they use them to get achievement and trophies, and they've been doing that since the PS3 360 days. Like if they wanted to get like 100% of the game, they would look up a guy or get that guy to figure out what to do so they can 100% it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, oh, guides are fun.
Yes, they are. So well, with that, everybody, let us know what's your favorite game guide. Like, when did you actually buy one or receive one? Whereas there a collector's edition? Did you get one for free for buying a game? Like at Toys R Us or Walmart, or did you get Expert Gamer back in the day with EGM or EGM 2 at that time, or GMR? Because like when I got some of them, I had like the GameCube stuff for like Wind Waker and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So let us know, how did you find about game guys, and when did you get into them? Definitely drop them in the comments and let us know in our Discord. But then everybody have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Expansion Pass. Bye everybody.
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel,
Retro Stoy,
and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.